Welcome to the first video in our debugging series for Georgia Tech CS 1331. My name is Shashir, and today we'll be going over compiler errors. So, first, let's look above here. We have a small test program. In here, we're just trying to have the user input some mathematical expression and return the answer. So just going through what this program is supposed to do. We ask them to enter a mathematical calculation. We capture the answer. And we have our quick function we wrote, evaluate expression, that will actually calculate what that answer is supposed to be. And finally, we print it out. So, the first step in every Java program, before we want to run it, is to compile the program. Compiling the program allows us to make the program executable, or let us run it with the Java command. So, in order to compile our program, we'll go to the terminal down here and type in javac, and then the name of the Java file. In our case, since our class is called calculator, let's type in calculator.java. Oh no. So, this is a compiler error. See how it says one error down here? That means that our program didn't compile. So in order to get our program to work, we need to fix this. Looking at the actual content of our error message, we can see that it says, to start off with, calculator.java:24. Now Java's error messages are really good. It tells us exactly what file the error happened in case we were compiling multiple files. And it tells us exactly what line it found a mistake on. So if we go down to that line right here, it says illegal start of expression. So that just means that Java's not expecting a method header down here. So let's see why. Oftentimes, when we have illegal start of expression errors, that means we probably have mismatched curly braces, so that Java is expecting one thing and it gets another. So, one really easy way to check that is in Sublime Text that we have up here. If we hover over and click on a curly brace like over here, it should highlight the corresponding curly brace that closes it. In our case, we can't see any highlighting down here. If we scroll all the way down, it's highlighting the curly brace at the bottom, which is not what we want. So, we know that something is wrong inside our evaluate expression method. If we look at our switch expression here, which is the only other thing with the curly brace, we can see that we actually just forgot to close it off down here. So let's just quickly do that. So, now that I added a closing brace here, let me save my work, go back to the terminal, and try to compile it again. So over here, it says that I can't find calculator.java. And this is also a common error. When you're trying to compile your code, always make sure that your file name that you type in matches the actual name of the file. So I'm going to try that again, but spelling it correctly this time. Alright, so it looks like two more errors popped up. And that's fine. Oftentimes when we fix one errors, other errors arise. And we just have to go fix those. In this case, it says it cannot find the symbol on line 3. And our little arrow that is given us is saying it can't find the scanner symbol. Now, whenever it says cannot find symbol, it either means one of two things. Either you have a typo in your code, or you forgot to import something. In our case, we spelled scanner correctly, so it's probably the second case, where we didn't import it. So in Java, if we want to use a class, and that class is not in java.lang, which we'll learn about later, we are required to import it at the top. And to do that, we just need to say import, and I know that the scanner class is in a package called java.util, so I'll say java.util.scanner. Now that we have an import statement at the top of our code, Java will be able to use this scanner class by us just typing scanner. So, going back to our terminal, I save my file, and I go back to javac calculator.java. So, we solved that error, but we're actually getting a third compiler error. And what does it say this time? At calculator.java, so in this file, at line 25, we have a missing return statement. So let's go to line 25. So line 25 seems to be inside our evaluate expression method. But that's weird. We have return statements in all of our cases in the switch statement. So what's it talking about? Well, it turns out that Java always wants you to return no matter what. So in the case of the switch statement, we're saying return if the string matches any of these 5 strings. But what if the string didn't match? Java wants us to handle that case too. So in that case, what we need to do is have a default clause in our switch statement. And default is just our way of saying that if nothing matches, go with this case. So I'm just going to type in default down here and just return null, because as a programmer, I don't know what to do if it doesn't match any of these. So I'm going to again save and compile my code. So Java-C didn't print anything to the console, so that means it worked out fine. And we can finally run our program. So to run our program, let's type in Java, not Java-C, and just the name of our class, which is calculator. Remember not to include .java. And let's run it. So we have to enter a math calculation. So I'll say 2 times 3. Oh no! We got an exception while the code was running. So that'll be it for this video. Stick around for the next video to figure out how to fix these runtime exceptions.